I've had a really, I had to work all of the holiday for Labor Day, and I had to work all the weekend also. Then I came on YouTube, getting my little bells and stuff, and what do I see? But a pit bull that literally is that somebody cut his two front legs off and was sitting there pleading for pleading for mercy. I want to have faith in humanity and people, but these kind of activities, they make me sad. And I don't understand what kind of people do this stuff. And I guess that's what I was thinking about going on later, but I guess I had to say something about these dogs that are having their legs cut off. And here's this poor animal that had their legs cut off and was left alive after all this. No mercy kill or anything. I don't understand. Are these dogs left there for examples? I mean, it's very cruel. And it truly bothers me. And it truly bothers my soul that this kind of practice goes on. And I don't know, I just don't understand. I mean, they're beautiful creatures on this earth. People that could be that if given the chance in society could help, but they're tortured, beaten, and have things cut off them. And I don't understand where the justice is. And the people that do such horrible things. Oh, hello. How you doing? I just seen a post of a pit bull that people literally cut their front legs off of this pit bull. And I don't talk to a lot of people, but I don't understand why anybody would do that to an animal. And from what I've told, that people do this to human beings also. And it really is a horrible act of humanity. And it really disturbed me today. I can't see without these here. Oh, hello. I think I saw my things on. All right. I got the volume up. I don't know, is that helpful? Yeah, nothing's happening in my room tonight. I just have my dog and he's sleeping, and I'm deciding when I'm gonna go for our long walk. And I seen this whole thing, this video. Somebody just cut off a pit bull's front legs and left him there dead. And I don't get it. I don't get I don't get humanity. And it's of what people are calling humanity. So I mean, I really don't get it. And when I see these horrible acts, it just motivates me to want to have to get this rescue village. It even motivates me to want to start some kind of security to go and pick these people up and torture them. But I know this is against the law. Because why would you take a beautiful animal and do this to them? I mean, of course, they saved him and they have to get, and he, for the rest of his life, he'll be disabled, but I don't understand why. So, I guess I just, life disturbs me. Well, honestly, I feel if you don't see the dark side of humanity, you won't appreciate the good side. If you don't want to hear dark sides of humanity, I guess this is not the channel for you. To change humanity, you must look upon the tortured and you must help them. You can't sit there and be a possum and no, I forgot what it is that what animal that is. They bury their head in the sand. You can't take a blind eye to torture and things people do and just forget about it and act like it doesn't happen. You can't. You cannot change anything with not looking at dark acts. Look at cops. They look at murders every day, but they still go to work and they try to stop all these murders. So you have to. You really do. These people that are taking animals and people and taking them and selling them and cutting them up, they got to be addressed. And I guess us as people, being the higher side of the food chain, we got to. So I'm not going to sit here and just not tell you the truth. I'm not. And I'll tell you another darker side of reality. I was at my work, there's a lady, and she's very nice, but sometimes people get sick. And she calls state all the time. And she says we're horrible aides and everything else because she's angry because her mom is sick. But sometimes when it's your time to die and you don't go and you have all this stuff to keep you alive, you got to accept that sometimes you're not going to be able to walk and there's going to be problems. So you got to make executive decision at some point to let someone go. And then if you can't, you cannot blame the staff at a nursing home. And it's fine if you want to put cameras and stuff up, but people that work in nursing homes and are there for the healing are not out to hurt your family member, and you cannot take the time of a medical professional just to take care of your family member to neglect 20 others. I mean, it's just not reality. And these are the darker parts of reality, even if we're not talking about dogs, about humans. And this is what happens. This is the darker side of reality. People get sick. People get in car accidents. And sometimes they're disabled for life and they got to live a different life, and people just sometimes cannot accept these things. I have full acceptance of death, and I give every respect to the dying and the sick. And I feel you have to report these things, and you have to, because who else will in the world? Dogs for families is wonderful. These dogs that went through horrible torture, their stories get told. And if a story is not told, the thing is you can't, it's like that person's pain and torture went for nothing. Look at Jesus. I mean, with that last comment of don't say sad stories, you celebrate Jesus' death every day. He died on a cross, was beaten, tortured, and had all kinds of horrible things happen to him, and we celebrate it. But, and I think that's more gruesome than half of this. But why did he die on the cross if we're going to chop the legs off animals and sell human beings? I mean, I'm here for more moral things. And I want to stop inhumanities. Because if I can, when I'm on my deathbed, this is what I want to know I did. Try to stop bad acts while I'm still of, I guess, sound mind. Because everybody is going to die, but everybody's meant to die a certain way. People are not always meant to die in horrific ways. And if you take someone's life, or you shorten their life, or you torture somebody in their life, these things come back to you. And they will. I mean, I'm a full believer. That person that chopped those legs off that pit bull, they might have got away with it today and tomorrow, but there's going to be a time where they get in a car accident or something happens and they might lose their legs. And I truly believe that some of the bad people, they do end up in the hospitals and they do lose their legs for horrible reasons of things they've done. And this is just karma. So whoever out there that did this to that poor animal is going to eventually pay. Because one day something bad's going to happen to them. Something's going to be taken from them that they really covet. And it says in the Bible about coveting and about how bad it is to covet things. You covet money, or you follow people and an innocent gets tortured. This is what happens. And I don't think anybody in the world realizes that they glorify torture. People glorify and they think it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay to hurt things or interfere with God's will. You can't do it. And people that do this kind of thing, you could be healed, or sometimes you're healed and it's in a bad way. So sometimes you can, I'm a full believer of this. What comes around goes around. So all these people are going around chopping off parts from these animals. You could get in a car accident. You could lose your arms, your legs. I've taken care of people with no arms. I've taken care of people with no legs. Some of these people were horrible and not good people. One was a rapist that literally lost his arms and legs. So I've seen what the forces can do. And whoever took the legs off this animal is probably going to one day is going to be disabled. They won't die. They're going to live in misery. And people will live in misery. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with enjoying somebody's misery if they did something horrible. And this is why I'm over here, trying to Get people to be nicer. And I'm hoping some of these negative people that are doing these horrible things to people are listening. I do. I hope so, because this is the God's honest truth. And honestly, when you get in this position, I mean, I've been in a car accident where I shouldn't have been able to walk when I was younger, when my son was in the car. I had his car seat. My older son, the one that I had the picture I went to car restoration with, I had it like backwards. All the glass, none of them hit him, and he was 2 years old at the time. I almost went through a windshield to save my grandmother, and I'm still walking. And the hospital told me I was a walking miracle. But I don't do bad acts. I don't do malicious things. So I feel it's my mission to go over here and just to give attention to these malicious people. Because malicious acts end up in horrible, horrible things. And we need to think about it. We need to think about all of our malicious activity and what we do. And if you're really, really mean to somebody, or you're using women or men or anything to that sort, you get in a cycle where you'll find somebody, you'll fall in love, and then that person will leave you one after another. And this is true facts, true facts. And they always say people are lucky they get married and this and that and have a full life. It's because they're good people. Good people find true love. People that aren't good do not find true love. They find love, and the powers that be torture you because they give you a piece of what you seek, and then they take it away. They'll give you money and then they'll take it away. That's what they do to greedy people all the time. And the more you take money from other people, more money gets taken from you. And then maybe eventually one day somebody might shoot you and miss your head and maybe shoot you in your arm or something. You know, you hit the right vein in your leg or your arm, you lose it. And people, I guess, don't think about this either. And like I said, I'm not over here, I guess, mostly for subscribers. I'm here to make people aware that are bad, that the higher forces are going to get you. It might not be today and tomorrow, but it will. And you'll end up in the hospital, or you'll end up tortured. That happens too. All these people with the mafia that go and do these individual hits and stuff, those kind of people, eventually, they get caught too. You know, you get the wrong side of fate, you're the victim eventually. Because good only protects good, and that's it. Good is not going to protect bad, because bad is bad. What is right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And I just get tired of all these people, and I was watching TV. And all these people are stealing money from people. And for what? You can't go to work, you can't go to school, you can't get a job. I mean, it's not hard. It really isn't. And now because of COVID, there's more online training than anything. And through COVID, what happened? I literally had to work. I never got a pay raise. I got made fun of because they said, why are you at work when you could be at home making more money? And honestly, I didn't agree with it, but look at our prices. Look at them right now. The reason your guys are paying, we're all paying more money at the store, is because everybody took so much from the government. And everybody was cheating at that time. They couldn't get everybody, so they said, "The hell with it, we're going to raise everything." And this is what happens when people are deceitful in that. I did not take any extra money. I just went to work every day through COVID. I took care of the sick. I took care of the dying. And I was their, I guess I was their priest. I gave people their last rites in a COVID bubble because their families could not be there. But I was. I heard their last words and I watched them take their last breath. And I got to speak for people that died in vain. Now I'm always going to speak for I'm going to speak for the dead and the people that suffered in vain because that's my mission in life. It really is. Because when you see both sides, you don't understand why that kind of activity would happen. And it deeply disturbs me because I'm a good soul. But if you cross me, there's problems. So I guess I'm leaving that message to whoever hurt that pit bull. You know, I'm not karma's gonna get them because that's what happens. And if you see anybody harming an animal, cutting off legs off an animal or anything, call the police. Do what you have to do to stop it. Don't sit there and let it happen. And don't ignore an animal that, and they even had tapes where the people just walked right by. Who are these people that are walking right by an animal with no legs? I know where I live. The police would have been there. And that's just the facts. And it's terrible. And it just makes me mad that people would do that. I would never walk past an animal suffering. Ever. I would literally get them somewhere where they needed to be safe. And then I would notify the police. Something like that is a felony act. It's against the law. And this act is the reason why this law is there. And there's a lot of people cutting tails and ears off animals. You see them all the time on Facebook. This is a common occurrence. Call your officials. You see anybody doing this, call the cops on them. They can go to jail up to 5 years and they get a felony. And this is just true facts. And if you have if somebody has a puppy and they're just beating on a dog, you can call the cops. And they will go in there, and it happened. Somebody I knew did that, and they actually called the police because they threw their dog outside and they were beating on their dog. And she was one of my followers, and she did what I tell everyone to do. Call the cops and stay out of harm's way. And the cops went over there, arrested the person. They're doing 2 to 5 in jail right now. The dog got taken and the leg got fixed. And that person's in jail now. And nobody knows that she reported it. It's very indiscreetly. They're not going to sit there and have any retaliation against you. All you got to do is give an address. That's it. You could do it with a child too. If you know a child's being sexually abused or just being abused in general, any kind of abuse, you could call. Just give an anonymous, and you could give the authorities your name, but they won't ever share it with the person, and they just go over there and arrest them. Because right is right and wrong is wrong. And I'm not saying I know there's bad cops out there. I get it. And I do get it. But there's bad people out there also. All cops aren't bad. Call the cops. If I have an issue, I call the cops. I don't mind. If you're doing right things and you're trying to do good things, cops are no problem. None at all. They take care of their dogs. They're trying to get meth off the street. And there's some good cops out there. And yeah, there's some bad ones, but that's everywhere. Everywhere. And I urge you guys all to do this. I do. Because there's organizations out there that make millions and millions of dollars. And the cops know where to send some of these dogs. They know. And the shelters, a lot of times, contact these agencies. But it's not right to sit by and do nothing. When you have so many resources, you got a cell phone, you got a voice, use it. Because if we don't use our voice in this world to promote good, we're not going to have any good. I mean, it's going to get to the point where people are just going to come to your door and put you to gunpoint. And if we get rid of the law and we don't follow lawful things, and it's coming to that point with drugs. People are getting on all these drugs. And people are afraid to leave their houses sometimes at a certain time. And for what? And why are all these drugs being created? They're literally destroying humankind. And in a sense, I think it's one of the plagues. All these different drugs that are coming about, it's just a modern plague. I would never touch anything more than marijuana. I just wouldn't. But I don't think anybody should. But I hope with a heavy heart that people out there are trying to do good. Because, just do good is the same effort as doing bad. Because it takes the same energy, except you feel good afterwards when you've done something good. And when you do something bad, you feel horrible about it and you feel guilty for the rest of your life because you did nothing. When there's so many choices you could do. And no one's asking you to be a vigilante. Nobody. They're just asking you to report it. And people put their lives on the line to do these sort of things. So, and I do go live stream in my bedroom because it's the most peaceful place in my house. If I go and try to go do it in my living room, the whole hallway here, because I live in an apartment and then everybody knows your business and they already know I live stream. So I just put a chair in my bedroom and I don't have many guests. I am very smart. I keep my circle small. I don't sit there and just invite anybody in my house. I keep my door locked because I see what goes on in this world and none of it's good. I try to save who I can in the world. So, and I mean, I can't save everybody, but I can promote people to save people and animals because that person that chopped those legs off of that pit bull will chop the legs off your daughter or your son. Or they'll rape your son or daughter and torture them and kill them. Because if you could do that to a dog, you could do that to a human. And I've studied criminal psychology. And I've studied serial killers. I've studied all of it. Serial killers start out with doing this kind of thing. Jeffrey Dahmer used to torture animals and kill them. And he would freeze them to see how they looked on the inside. And if you're around a person that's doing this or tortured a poor dog or cat or anything, they're going to torture you or kill you or rape your daughter or kill or rape and kill your daughter or son. Because now is different times. Boys get raped as much as girls. And it goes on every day. And this is a trait of a serial killer. So the next time, you want to sit there and pretend it's okay to walk past a horrible thing, just remember they're going to upgrade. That animal may have survived and it's going to find a good home, and all these companies like have stuff, and they'll hold them up and they get them all kind. They'll get money and get helped, but you may be their next victim. And people are going to these bars for sex, and they're not thinking, and they're trying to have these relationships. And the thing is, you don't know if you're having a relationship with the serial killer or not, or if your one night stand is someone that maybe is psychotic, because these drugs are altering people's minds, and they are mind altering drugs. And I do speak truth. I studied, I read a 5,000 page book on the brain. And it took me 6 months to read it, but I read it. And these drugs will affect different parts of your brain and kill off a lot of parts of your brain. And they do. And they alter things, and all these drugs are causing a lot of just different things. They cause dementia, for one. They cause, and then I think it's if I recollecting right, the your front lobe, if that's affected too bad, you have delusions, and it does cause schizophrenia. And people that have schizophrenia, they may have a flashback. They may see something if doing enough of these drugs and not even know it's you, and just start beating, torturing, murdering, or even raping you at the same time. And this is what happens. This is reality, folks. We are in darker times. But hello, everybody. Oh, I'm glad a lot of people here do love cats and dogs. But I've studied criminal psychology, and this is why I follow who abuses these dogs. If you catch the person that abused the dog, most likely they could have killed a human being. If Jeffrey Dahmer's parents would have reported all the animals he killed and abused and tortured, there might have not been so many humans that died. And that is today's reality. You gotta think like a killer when you're going out there. Killers take if you're going out to a bar and let's say you're crying and you're upset because your boyfriend broke up with you, a serial killer that maybe had mommy issues, which happened with Ted Bundy and I think it was Ted Bundy, Charles Manson had issues with his mom. They generally target women. And you get in the car and they're the nicest people ever. And they need to have sex too. But they're not going to have relationships because they're just out to have sex and murder you. So this is what happens. They get you in your car. They usually drug you. Usually it's in your alcohol, specific drugs. Then you get tied up. Then you get raped. And depending on how they want to go about the torture, they could drain your blood. They could take off appendages. They could do all kinds of stuff to you. And people walk around with a blind eye like it doesn't exist. And it sure does. And we are having a rise of serial killers these days. There's been a lot of them. There's a lot of murders that are going, they don't know who did it. And it's a known fact that all these drugs are altering people's minds and they're making them stronger and stronger and they're killing off certain sections of the brain. Just for a quick buck, they're literally creating a whole group of people that's going to go around and eventually murder everybody, because what do you have left to live for? I mean, I don't think anybody realizes this. If you're on drugs, you lost your family, lost everything, and everybody you love, and you really just want to take out some people and you're angry and you just want to murder and rape until somebody comes along and kills you, this is what you're going to do. And a lot of these guys are not caught until maybe they killed 50 to 100 people. And the people that suffer is the innocent, and people just need to wisen up. I always evaluate people, always. And they had a thing on Facebook. I think it was Dogs for Family. Anybody that would abuse a dog, do not trust them. Because that's the first thing. I've studied the biography of many killers and many serial killers and different kinds of murderers. And this is they kill and torture animals first. So you have to be careful. This is a dangerous world. And these drugs is making it worse. Worse. We're creating serial killers. We are. And honestly, let's just be honest. What are gangs? They're murderers. They're going out there. They're just deciding who they want to kill and who they don't want to kill. They're all on some kind of drugs. And they're packed with an arsenal. And they're just taking people out. And people are glorifying this. And it's not right. They're not God, and they're trying to play God. And they're all out there. There's millions of them. Millions. And you got to keep yourself safe. You really do. And honestly, with the animal rescues, if they get those people and put them in jail and background check them and go to their house and stuff, a lot of times they'll find other stuff. They'll find that maybe they're selling drugs or they're beating their kids and just different things. So with these animal rescues, humans are getting rescued also. Because the cops, if they find out a dog is getting torn apart or this and that, the first thing they're going to do is find out if there's any children. That's what they're trained to do. This is what cops do. This is what military does. And this is why you have to be smart. You have to. I come from a military family. I respect military. I respect police. And I've heard a lot of tales of murder and how they find bodies. When my dad was in Vietnam, he was taken prisoner in Vietnam. He was stuck in a cage. Him and 3 of his friends. And he was the last person they got to before they could torture him, but he watched his friends and what they did with these rats. Any Vietnam vet, if you mention big rats, they'll go apeshit on you. They really will. They took these rats, the Vietnamese, and they would cut you and stuff, and the rats would eat you alive. And this is what they did. And this is why United States set came in and said this is not right. And this is why they have a whole thing where you go to war, prisoners of war cannot be treated a certain way. And these are things that go on in the world, they're real. And you got to accept them for what they are. If you accept God, you have got to accept the dark acts around you to keep yourself safe. You really do. There's people every day out there that are act like they're the nicest people ever. And they got people tied up in their basement. I mean, and I live by I'm in a suburb by Cleveland, Ohio, where the most notorious serial the guy that it was the Imperial Street. The guy that literally he kidnapped all the girls and put them in their basement, and we're known for serial killers over in Ohio. And that's so I mean there's murders everywhere, but we're known for serial killers over here for some damn reason. And it went national when he had the three girls and kept them in the basement, and one girl gave birth while she was there. So you've got to be careful about this, and people are getting on these different drugs and they don't care. They will kill you, they will kill your mom, they will kill your dad, they will kill your kids. And people got to be smart, because this world will not change until we change. And if we're not willing to change and we're willing to be sheep in this world and not speak up for ourselves, this realm is doomed. It really is. I mean, there's certain people that be protected in this realm of existence, but honestly, this is where we're at. There's positive things. There's people trying to do positive out there, but I guess not enough. And these drugs aren't helping. They're making people's brains crazy, and it's a shame that a person that was born to do good gets on all these drugs and they're done for. They might as well go and kill themselves. You get enough brain damage and you murder enough people and torture enough women and children, you just deserve to die. You really do. And I'm all for this because I heard from other people, because I talk to lots of people. And I heard when you go to prison, if they find out that you hurt, like you molested a child, or you like killed a woman and raped her or whatever, they do anal sex on you and for just to torture you. And they will do it till you keep going to hospital, because I know prison guards. And I've heard this, the inmates do this to you. And they do that because they have families. And if you do a crime against kids, if you go to prison, you're done with. And if they don't kill you right away, you want to die. And they always take the ones that they think that are the best, that are the nastiest but have the biggest ego, like they're going to beat everyone up. Those are the ones that get tortured first. And you have all these kids who just running around out here that act like they act like they're some kind of Navy SEAL. And they can do whatever the hell they want. And they can't. They can't. They can't do it. But they think they can. But then once they get caught, all of a sudden it's horrible. Because we had a friend over. And I told him I kept telling my husband that we need to, contact our friend, because I keep having dreams of a potential suicide and a murder. And we contact him, and I guess iPhone, was having issues. And he lost our numbers. But I have an Android that's crappy, but it's been working for years, and I don't know. I think it's just possessed and wants to stay working. But I'm the only one that had the contact. But he said he was depressed and he did want to commit suicide. So we talked to him and he's okay now. And then as we were talking, one of our friends literally got arrested for killing one of his friends. But I don't know if it's our friend, but someone he knows got arrested for killing his girlfriend. And he looked at me and goes, maybe that's where the murder thing came from. And he was only 25. So, I mean, if you kill a woman or a child, I mean, his ass is grass and Bubba's coming to get him. That's just what the reality is. And honestly, I do not feel sorry for them kind of people. Not at all. I feel sorry for the person that's struggling through nursing school or college that no one will help trying to do something good. That's who I feel sorry for. Do I feel sorry for some young kid that shot up 30 people and maybe killed an infant child on accident? No. I'm hoping Bubba makes him his wife. That's where I'm at with those kind of people. Because it's those kind of people that's torturing these dogs and killing all these humans. And I'm going to preach this until the day I die. Because those people annoy me. I don't like them. And whatever fate they get, if it's horrible, it makes me happy. Because you can't do bad things and expect good things to always come to you. Because life doesn't work that way. I don't have a lot of money, but you don't see me going out here robbing people and taking all their money. I live within my means, and I don't complain. I don't have a car at the moment, but I'm saving up, and my friends take me to the store, and my brother takes me everywhere I need to go if I want to go and we go to concerts together and stuff. But this is what happens when you're a good person. But I don't have malicious intentions. So that's the difference. So in the end, it may take a while, but I do get good karma. Because my credit score went up out of nowhere. Probably because I outlived my debt, but it happened, and I'll probably have a new car in probably 6 months. And I don't feel the need to steal from people or murder them or be nasty to an animal because I'm bored. Because this is what it comes down to. They have no hobbies. I strongly urge people get a hobby. I like to write. I went to classes when I was in college to learn to be a better writer because I like English. Somebody else might like something else. In my day, if you were bored, you like if you're a guy, you join football or something sport related, and then girls started. Then it was a big thing with girls being in football. Then finally they allowed girls into football, like certain ones. And now they have a women's basketball league. You could be so if you're a female, you could be in any sport you want also. But it's a positive hobby and activity. And we have to try to do positive things and promote positive activities. Because the road we're going down is not a good one. Not at all. And the world will balance out eventually. Because I'm a firm believer when you die, you get reborn and you don't remember your life before. I believe in reincarnation. I do. And all these victims that are dying are being reincarnated for a way better life. Because when the innocent get taken, when they die, they go and they're always born to a better life. The people that die that aren't an innocent, they get reincarnated to a horrible life. So I absolutely believe in it. But I had to come here before my usual time because it was a grave injustice what happened to that dog. And I know people will just say it's just a dog. It's not just a dog. It's not just a cat. It's a living being. And if you're willing to do that to a living being, you're going to do that to a human being. And people that do that to human beings or any living being, they deserve the worst torture you can have. And I'm a firm believer of that. And I always will believe that. That's why I don't feel bad for the bad guys that, I mean, it's one thing if you did something bad to protect yourself and it wasn't malicious, but people do these malicious acts for fun. I mean, something is going to happen to you and you won't feel any peace. And you won't rest in peace when you die either. You really won't. I see sometimes I dream of, I block things out a lot. Especially when like it comes to spiritual stuff, I'll block it. Because I mean, if I see a demented soul, I'm not talking to it. Because we should not talk to demented people and people that just want to steal your energy because you can't. Because they try to suck away your energy. And they will. Because they made so many mistakes. They're trying and they're not going to be reborn for a while because their souls are being tortured. And this is what happens. Your soul does get tortured when you die. Sometimes it takes a long time to be reincarnated because you go, if you're Catholic, you'll say it's hell or just your period that your soul relives everything bad you did until you learn your lesson. And then some people say this is purgatory and we're reliving things now until we learn our lesson. And the thing is, that person that are murdering these people and doing horrible acts to these dogs, they'll die in a bad way, but they'll get reborn probably as a victim or maybe a dog. Because you don't always have to come back as a human. You can come back as a dog and then get abused as a dog. This happens too. It's the things people don't see. Sometimes through dogs, sometimes one dog doesn't seem right to me. Sometimes it's a dark soul that's in a dog. And you see them. They're different spirit animals. And sometimes you're not allowed to be human again because of this. The universe is not gonna give you this kind of power. So, and it is a real thing. Sometimes to the eyes of some animals, I can see where they're not a good soul. And then some animals are are just innocent. But sometimes you got to relive that. But if everybody started acting decent in the world, we wouldn't have this kind of problem. None at all. And I would like a world of harmony where things that are born are cherished because I don't understand why everybody has to be high all the time. I don't. And why you'd want to stick a needle in your arm. It doesn't seem like a good activity. Wouldn't you want to wake up to coffee in the morning and then come home to dinner and maybe have, I don't know, chocolate milk or something during the day, or hot chocolate? These are things we enjoy that makes us happy living. So I don't understand why people want to do these bad things. It's the little things in life that matter. It's what you do every day to better the world that actually matters and actually sets the pace for people. And you could be an example in your small circles. If one person just starts doing good things, they affect everyone in their circle. And it happens. Everybody's born to until you learn your lesson, you're born and you go around in the same circle, and the same people usually are born around each other and you meet them. Like one lifetime might be your sister, the next lifetime it might be that same person, might be your wife. You don't know. But these circles, until people learn their lesson, they just keep getting reborn again and appearing. And that's just facts. But to get out of these circles, folks, that's all you got to do. Everyone has a choice. Everyone. Even if people say they didn't have a choice, everybody has a choice. I was a single parent with my oldest. I wanted to go to school. And my mother died. I had to go and live at my grandmother's house. I did not date anybody, and I went to school. And I had hard times. I had to pay for books and this and that, but I did it. I didn't care about if I had designer clothes. I just knew that it was meant for me to do what I was doing. So, I mean, that's the difference. We all have choices. I gave up going to a 4-year university because I didn't want to get an abortion. But that was a choice that I don't regret. I did end up not going to 4-year university because of it, but my son wouldn't be alive today. And these are the things that matter in life. It's not if your feelings were hurt, if someone slept with who, or this or that. Sex doesn't even go in the equation. It doesn't even matter. Sex is nothing. It's how you treat people. So, honestly, I had to report that dog for cut with a heavy heart, because that's a hard thing to go through, and just because he's a dog doesn't mean it doesn't matter. If he was a person, it would be all over the news. Being a dog, he has to rely on dogs for family to find them and tape them and this and that to get a story out. And he's treated like, and then animals are treated like secondhand citizens. And I believe we're all equal. We're equal to the oak tree that's in your front yard and everything. And sorry, folks, you're not special. I'm not special. No one's special. We just exist. And if you think you're special, you need to get a reality check, because there is nobody that is special. I am literally a blade of grass in the universe that's just meant to try to promote humanity and extort, I guess we're going to say, just putting it out there, all these bad acts. And this is my job in the universe, to make people aware, to try to make sure that they'll do something good in the end. So, and I'm going to keep doing it. If I see anybody else dissecting dogs, and being just horrible demon like people, I am going to come up here and voice my opinion. And if I don't get rich, I don't get rich. I don't really care about money. I don't. If I need something, the universe provides. You know, the house I was living at before this was getting sold, and an apartment was ready. I did not go homeless, and I got a nice bougie apartment. The universe provided for me. If I need something, the universe provides, and I'm a firm believer in that because I'm not malicious, and malicious people end up in bad situations because you got to pay for everything you do that's bad. And if you do something that's bad, I've been paid back for bad things when I was younger, disrespecting my mother, and I felt like crap, and I apologized, and I was taught respect, and I think that's where a lot of people lack is respect. You have to respect everything and anything around you. And I do. I respect things. And I think that's why I feel strongly, growing up in a military family, to military values. Because I feel that if this world had more respect, we would have less problems. And I'm not saying you got to like everyone, because I sure the hell don't like everyone, but I respect them. That's the way the world runs. You're Not everyone's meant to be your best friend. Not everyone's meant to be your boyfriend. They're allowed to leave you, and they're allowed to be with you. And it's the boundaries that you put that makes it or breaks it. I always have told my suitors all the time, if you're out just to have sex and all that, it's not happening. We're not having sex for a long while till I can see what kind of person you are, to your background checked and things. And if you're not willing to go through a background check and you're not willing to wait, then you could go right ahead and sexually assault someone else at the bar and lie to them. And literally, that's where I'm at with people, because I don't believe them. Because I got probably about 50 more years to live now. So I'm not, in my 50 years, I am not going to be bothered by someone that wants to put me down and make them feel better. I won't do it. And you guys should not stand for it either. Don't ever let anybody put you down for being who you are. And that's just how I feel, because we have lost respect for everything in this world. And respect needs to come back. And it stems through the military and military values. So thank God for the military. Thank God for the cops, because they represent respect. And it's true. I mean, everybody can argue with you like this and that and all that, but they're respectful. And that's important, to be respectful in the world. Oh, well, hello from Texas. I actually like to. I never not been to Texas, but I do hear good things. Yeah, I can get. Yeah, that's fine. I can do the reading. I just try to come over here and, I guess, empower people to do the right thing and be respectful, because I have a dream of a better society, my friend. I really do. So, this is why, and I really, before I die, I want I'm sure I'll be all over the internet as some nut job, but I'll be a nut job that tried to make the world a better place. And I'm okay being called a nut job. I don't care. As long as people are nicer, it's all good for me. It really is. Because in my day, you could, if you was said anything about tarot cards and everything, they would literally scream at you and say you're the devil. So times have changed with this. People are open minded. I grew up Catholic, so if you even tried to touch tarot cards, it was called Satan's work. But I believe certain visions come from God, and certain things you feel strongly about at certain times of your life comes from visions from God. I believe everything comes from God, and I do. Because obviously, the food we eat comes from God because it's animals and it's plants and they come from God. So, how can you argue with that? So, I've come to accept this in my life. Okay, you want a love reading. You want to know the person. What is it? Kujit? I think it's KY or Kujest. All right, we'll see what Kujest feelings are for you. But yeah, if you guys are a lover of humanity, you'll love my channel because I don't like bad people. I don't like malicious people, and I will fight them to the death. Even if I die trying, I will. I'll be one of those people that just come up on the news because I was fighting a malicious person. This is what I do. It's who I am. Malicious people are no good in the world. They need to know their place and sometimes taken out. That's why I'm all for military action all the time. All right, my Texas friend, you're got a new moon in Libra, which is good because it represents you on a new romantic cycle. Which I'm taking, I'm feeling it's another partner, not the same partner, like a reconciliation. So this is a new person. And that is surrounded by a full moon in Gemini and a full moon in Virgo. Which makes sense because you got answers that are you got answers that you've been wanting that are coming, and you have a card that you don't, your self-confidence is low. So I would empower myself, maybe get yourself a crystal, one of those meditation stones, put it on your I would put it a place where it gets moonlight and stuff. But I usually would think windows or something because if you put outside, sometimes the animals play with it or it drops, or you could put on a patio or whatever. And the moonlight helps them. But start empowering and just thinking about how you would like a good relationship with him. And if you're a good person and you're not giving out malicious vibes, this person will come to you. But if you give out malicious vibes, this person is not going to come to you. This is how these things work in love. Love is only for the worthy. And this is not my rule, this is God's rule. He's not going to reward you with somebody that you truly love if you're doing bad things. Because why would he? That's like giving somebody candy before dinner. So he's not going to reward you if you're not doing good things. So I see good things for you. But like I said, as you're manifesting a good relationship and a healthy one, put those stones on the window. And you can pray over those stones and hold them in your hand while you're envisioning it in your head. And it should come to be. But I would get moonstones or quartz. I think that those are the best for that kind of situation. So I have a moonstone. Moonstones are good for anything, any kind of situation, and they usually divert any dark activity to you also. So that I do always suggest, and you could find moonstones. You gotta find them. They're at spiritual stores, but you gotta empower them with your own energy. So, and they will bring you positive things, and it'll protect you against malicious people. Also, I feel my moonstone does this every day of my life. It really does. I get malicious people at work that workers, sometimes family members, and my stone works overtime there. And when I'm not at home or out with my friends, sometimes we encounter some characters, and this thing helps. So that would be my advice for that. And good luck in your spiritual journey with your soulmate of some of sorts. Hopefully it works out. Oh, oh yes. You feed cats and dogs. I did that too when I was in a house. I always fed these animals. Okay. All right. All right, Lisa, I'm seeing yours, and I'm looking at this other one that put a question is Return M. I want to know about another exam result. Okay. I think this is my medical student friend. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. I do try to help people as much as I can. It's my mission to help people. But I can. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Jeez. Rosary. Okay, did I pronounce it right? Rosary? Okay. Okay, you want to know about another exam result. All right. Is this an exam? I feel you have a lot of them. I feel a lot of exams here. Is this one that you've been. Is this. I feel this is like a final exam. Like that for your like grade point average and like a midterm type thing. I don't know. That's what I'm picking up. Or like a close to finals thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's what I'm picking up on this one. And I do understand because when I was in college, I was always worried about my grades. Always, always. And I was scared if I didn't get a good grade on my midterm or my final that I was screwed. And that happens. And I'm so glad you're doing positive things because school, I think, is one of your most positive things you could do. It always gives you a good job outlet and gives you self-confidence. I always promote school. Oh, you want to know about a whole result? Okay. Well, I'll see what I see, and I will tell you that because I am not God. I only could see certain things, and God has a big job, so I don't know if I'd want to be God. He got a lot going on in his plate. He got to save all these animals and people, and that's a big job. So, are you in a new moon in Cancer with this? And even though this card usually refers to like family and loved ones, it's just a safe card, pretty much. It could be interrelated to other kind of topics, this card. I feel that your result is going to be between, I'm picking up like a low B and almost like I'm picking up a low B that's getting close to a C. But it's not going to be bad. It's not going to be what you wanted, but I'm picking up it's going to be almost like a B minus. That's what I'm picking up. And it's in on this test that you're asking about, and the result is you got dissembling moon and a new moon in Aquarius. And Aquarius doesn't always mean romantic love. It really doesn't. It just depends on the reading. But the dissembling moon just means you have a lot of stress. It's just a stress card, and it means you're stressing out over school. So the card is just telling you to relax because you know stress can lead to a lot of bad things, and even your hair could thin out and fall out with stress. I'm just putting that out there because that happened to me once in my life. So that's why I don't let stress bother me. But you also, the new moon Aquarius, I believe, is just there to let you know to love yourself and everything's going to be okay. So I'm predicting like a B minus, and it's going to be maybe a hair close to a C minus. So it's not going to be a bad score, but it's not going to be the best that you thought that you were aiming for, but that's okay. You want to know my exam result, not another. Oh, okay. You're welcome. Hang in there. Encourage other people to go to school while you're at it. Not enough people are going to school and taking advantages of all this free schooling going on with the internet. So just go out there and just preach school to people because people need it for peace. That's all I ask out of you. I really do. Because I want to see more people in school. I don't know if I'm going to ever see that, but I want to see it. I want to see people in school and people persevering, and I want to be able to see good doctors out there and good lawyers and just good people in general. But you keep up all the good work, my friend. Chong the dog appreciates you and your humanity. As I do. And I'm looking for the other reading. Okay. I think this is your question. Okay, Lisa, you want to know what's coming towards you in love. Okay. I'm always out to help humanitarians, Lisa. You see your aura has a very peachy, I'm picking up like a peach tone to it, which is good. They're positive colors. And I feel that and my friend that's in school over here, he has a pink aura. Pink is good. Your aura colors could always change, but you have a very positive aura. So you're friends of humanity and Chong, and we thank you. And my dog thanks you because he's a rescue, and I hate people that are mean animals because somebody was mean to my animal. And if I ever find the person that was mean to my animal, I might be in jail, and maybe that's why I haven't found him. I don't know. We'll see, but this is the truth. I don't lie. So maybe this is why the universe, I never found him. But my dog's okay now, so I guess blessed be God for that. Maybe God knew that I would do horrible things to him. But your love life right now, you're in a full moon. A full moon is very good. I mean, in the full moons, it's just surrendering and giving your sorrows to the moon. That's what I call it. I give my sorrows to the moon all the time. So, oh, you're welcome. You are very welcome for that. And I like I said, I'd be happy to promote school. I'm over here promoting school every damn day because of that, and I appreciate you. But anyways, when you're in this cycle, it just means that do you have things that there I want to say unsettled things in your head, and it could mine was my mom's death and everything. I had to give my sorrows to the moon because I was upset because my mom died when I was younger, like around 18. So, and I had issues with my dad at the time, and it was tearing me apart, but I had to give it to the moon to be able to evolve into something more. Sometimes you got to get rid of all the bad stuff that happened to you and all the stuff that weighs down despair to levitate to be a better person. That's all that is, and you're in that path, which is not a bad path. It's just working on your inner self, which is actually sometimes the most exciting path you could be, Lisa. Very exciting. I'm actually on this path because I had a lot of stuff I had recently with that eclipse, the big eclipse that I seen that I had perfect view over my work. Of all things, the universe wanted me to see that damn eclipse. People were paying to see that moon eclipse, and I was at work and I had perfect view of it, and people were paying thousands of dollars to see it over here in northern America. So it was a pretty big event, but I gave all my sorrow to the moon and I was crying at the same time, and I felt much better. So I maybe that's why I got more heightened and lightened and everything else. Keep turning off my TV and it keeps turning back on and restarting. But anyways, you got the balsamic moon next to you and a full moon in Scorpio. And what a balsamic moon, it just means you gotta heal from people that were mean to you. People that made you feel like you were less of a person. Because you are a good person. And you're meant for great things. Everyone's meant for great things. And I'm not saying just you in particular, it's everybody. So the balsamic moon they just want you to relax and maybe throw a party and just enjoy life, which is good. It really is. I mean, it's good to throw a small little coffee party or something, which usually half of my parties are coffee and tea related. So that's just the kind of person I am. We also got a full moon in Scorpio, which just represents the hurt that somebody gave you. So I guess you just gotta go out there, and I feel that after all this, there is somebody is going to come, and it's going to be a very positive person. But I give it about maybe 3 to 6 months, and this person is going to appear, and you're going to think that you've known them your entire life. And I feel he's going to be a water sign. I don't feel fire, I feel water, if that's helpful. So I guess look out for the water signs, and I think you're gonna be okay. So that's what I see in the path for that. Let me see if there's any here. Oh, hello. Is it Sal? I think it's Sal. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, like I said, look out for a water sign. Any kind of water sign. That's what I'm picking up is these water signs for some damn reason. And there's a lot of different water signs. So if you see somebody, you guys know astrology more than me. I don't know. I don't keep up with all the dates. It's hard. I have all kinds of stuff going on. But I'm sure you know all of them. But look for the water sign. It could be any of them. I know there's a couple fire ones. I think it's Leo, Aries, and something else are fire, and then I forgot the water ones. But I'm just picking up water. Sometimes I see that. I just see water when it has to do with signs. It's weird, but that's what I see. How does this work? Yeah, just post your question, and I'll give you a pathway reading. I got my moon cards here. They're not negative. They won't give you they'll give you advice on how to try to take the most positive result out of your situation. There's enough negativity in the world. I'm not gonna work from a negative deck. I feel sometimes the medieval style decks that kind of focus on death and stuff is very negative. And I had one of those and it kept coming up every time I do reading. And there was no way that the cards should have went upside down, but they did. And they kept doing that. So I put salt on them and I buried them because it's bad luck to burn tarot cards. And it's not a good practice. But if you put salt on them and bury them and let them just go into the earth, all the energy from that deck goes into the earth where it came from. So, oh, you're welcome. I never really thought I was this interesting. When I was married, my first husband told me I talked a lot and I rambled. So I try not to ramble that much. And I would try to help him out, but he was sometimes an asshole and he didn't want to listen to nobody and he would just do some crazy shit sometimes. But this is why we're not together. Because he's a negative person and he's on his own path right now. Thank God he's a good father. He's doing something right in the universe, but he's a horrible husband. He already was a horrible husband. This is why I'm on another one. But thank you, and I appreciate you. You have a question, but it's very important for me because I've been stuck on this forever. I fell in love with someone I could never have. What should I do now? It has been 3 years now. Oh, well, in that case, if you're in love with someone you never had, then you're not really, it has someone else. I mean, that's unfortunate that happens, but I could do like a love reading and just see if the cards have any advice for you. I could do that. I mean, but I guess the best advice I can give is sometimes these lessons, I guess, are taught to us because sometimes if you fall in love with someone you can't have for the next person, it benefits you somehow. I've been in love with people that I couldn't have. I did that once. And then I just had to learn that sometimes I had to learn how to let go, and that was my lesson. So, but I'll do a love path reading to see why that's going on. And So. Okay, so it's been years. All right, well, I could do a love reading on you and the situation and see what comes up. And we could go from there. But I mean, it does happen to all of us. It doesn't mean you're a bad person who fell in love with somebody you can't have or this or that. I mean, it happens. It's just how you approach the situation that makes you the better person or not the better person. It's all in your approach. There's really no good or bad. It's all, like I said, in how you execute things. And I'm a firm believer that some people are just say do or die. It has to be this way. The Catholics will tell you, but I call bullshit on that and say that it's a way you approach a situation. This is why me and Catholic priests have gotten in a lot of fights. So I'm the person. I was the little kid that always fought with the priest. Okay, I got you. I got you, friend of humanity. I got you. Anybody that's out there that's a good person, I'm always willing to help you. And by the way, your aura is crimson, one of my favorite colors. You are. Oh, I am very curious. I know. You do have a nice crimson aura. I like it. You said crimson. Yeah, it's crimson. Auras always change colors, but then you have a primary color. I do see auras. And your aura is crimson. I have mine's black. I've been told that mine's black, jade, and gold. But crimson auras are usually very good people with high moral values that really have a deep heart. A lot of, if you have that, I like crimson, and some people have multicolored ones. But crimson auras are good because they're usually like a different kind of soul. I mean, not everybody has a different thing. But crimson auras usually are the people that are more straightforward. That's why, and crimson is closer to like a darker aura, which dark auras are bad. People think they are, but they're not. They just mean more strength. It means you went through a lot of bullshit in your life and you had to rise above it all. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. And very loyal and yeah, I'm seeing that. I see you. I like your colors. I like people with crimson auras because they've been through some shit. But in your love thing here, trying to track him down, you're in a new moon in Taurus, and that means prosperity. So I feel that both of you are gonna prosper in something. I feel it's something that leads to money. It's job related. You're both in this path, which is really weird because usually people are in two different paths, but you're both in new moon in Taurus. So maybe there's a chance he may come back. I don't know. Then you got a mutual moon, and you're surrounded by a new moon in Libra. A mutual moon means that nothing's set in stone. It just means like Back to the Future. The future is what you make of it. That's pretty much what a mutual moon is. And the new moon in Libra is just a new romantic cycle, and it does not have to mean two different people. It can mean the same person. You can fall out of love with somebody and then fall back into love with the same person, and it's a new cycle. So, I honestly see you bumping into him. It's going to be a nonchalant thing. And I don't see him with anybody, but I see him broken up with somebody and hurt. Somebody just screwed him over. So that's what I'm seeing. And he's throwing himself into his job. That's what I'm picking up. And he's just kind of done with things. So that's good. I mean, you never know. I bumped into this guy Brian hiking and didn't see him for 10 years. So weird stuff happens. I just see a random bumping in. Hopefully it's not while you're hiking like I seen my childhood flame. But he was an asshole. Heath didn't like me because I just had my first son, and he's one of these people you gotta be super thin, and I just had a baby. And he said he didn't care that I had a baby out of wedlock, but he said I was fat. And me and my friend were hiking, and then he was trying to flirt with me as he was telling me that he was still with this other girl that he never had any kids with. And I was with my one friend, and I just told her, I was like, we gotta go. Because I'm sitting there trying to have a happy hiking day, and he's talking to me about crazy stuff. So hopefully it's not like my encounter, but you are going to bump into him. And it's going to be, maybe, hopefully it's in a store or something. But I can't predict where. I just know it's going to happen somewhere. And it's going to be 3 to 6 months, some random circumstance. But yeah, I have this guy that I seen hiking, and then he found me on social media over by Facebook. And he's crazy. He's still in love with me. He was like in love with me when I was 10 years old, and I was too young, and my parents wouldn't let me have any kind of contact with a man. So he'd come and try to sell my parents stuff to see me. And then after he insulted me and called me fat, I just ended up being with my baby's daddy after that for about 8 years. And we lost touch. And now all of a sudden he wants to rekindle this whole relationship. He wants me to break up with my husband and this and that. And it's like, he's psycho. And he just went to California, and he's posting all through Facebook all this stuff where he's going through there, and it's not like he's a YouTuber or anything. He's not. And I don't know. I'm hoping he's doing it for his sister. But my other childhood friend Jamie's on there too, and I talked to her on Facebook, and I know he's not trying to have Jamie look at it. I think he's just trying to get my attention, and it's not working, and I just don't care. Because he's an asshole, is an asshole. My husband thinks I should just talk to him, and maybe he just wants a friend. He doesn't want just a friend. I deeply believe he just wants to try to have a relationship years ago, and I just didn't. I was done with it years ago. So I just kind of threw that out there because he's been irritating me. Now his dad just died. So he went all through California. Now he's in Detroit. And he inherited his dad's business and everything. And his mom has Alzheimer's, so he is a jerk. He is. He's a jerk, and because didn't have kids with the one girl that was skinny at the time, and I just had a baby. How thin can you be after you have a damn baby? You gotta have time to exercise. Now all of a sudden, now that I'm on Facebook and stuff and all over the place, all of a sudden he's always messaging me, wanting to talk to me private, and it's over. It's been over for like I'm 50, and he's older than me. He's like 55. I haven't seen him since I was like 19, 20, so it's been 30 years. If you haven't talked to them in 30 years and the last thing that you told them was something insulting, I don't know why the hell you would even try to contact me on Facebook. It's crazy. It's fine with my friend Jamie. We were childhood friends and I was at her house all the time. She lives in Colorado, but I always comment on her post because she's out of town, but that's different. He's just creepy. And I think he's going through some kind of midlife crisis, and I don't know. I think he wants sex, and that's why I won't speak to him. I knew his dad, and I know his mom and his sister, but I'm staying out. I'm done with him. He is. I agree with you. He's not trying to help charity or anything. He's blowing all of his money in California and Detroit. His dad had a whole painting business. And he has control over all the money because I think his sister has money, so which makes this worse. And then he's never worked a day in his life. And then the work he used to do, he used to tell us he's working so hard, me and my friend Jamie, but he was working with his dad painting an apartment because it was their business. That's really not working hard. He could take a break whenever he wanted to, and he was never getting fired. So I call that no. He just had been set for life and had everything given to him, and I don't like those kind of people. And he feels self entitled. Even though my friend Jamie had a lot of money growing up, she actually has a better outlook in life. She's always doing wildlife posts from Colorado, and she's actually trying to do good things. He's just being an asshole. I mean, he just goes around with these selfies going state to state. It's weird. And I just can't take him. I know we grew up together and we went to Catholic school together, but I get it, but he was not the good one out of our bunch. I know my mom used to feel bad for him and drive him to school with us, but me and Jamie just didn't like him very much sometimes. We had a tree house and he was always trying to come up in our tree house and we would kick him out of the tree house. And Jamie'd go, "Oh, why? We can go over there and see him." And I would tell her, "No, I'm not going over there and seeing him. I don't like him. And that's just the way it is. And I don't care if 30 years later he's seen Jesus and wants to say he's sorry. He could say he's sorry, but doesn't mean I gotta like him. Because I don't know anybody that goes from state to state blowing his dad's business money. He could have donated some of this money, but he is choosing to go state to state. It's not like he has cancer and it's his bucket list and he's dying. Because he's not. He's gonna live a long while. He's just terrible. And when we were younger, and he thinks he's so good looking now. And I'm not trying to dog anybody because I don't judge by looks, but you could tell he didn't age well. He's only like 55. I'm 50. And he looks like he's 60. It's terrible. I think that's his karma, looking old. He does look a lot like his dad, but he looks like his dad at an older age. But I'm not supposed to. I was always told I can't judge unless I want to be judged. But I can't take egotistical people, and I can't take him. I already told him I was married, and then he just keeps on and keeps on. So, I don't know. It is what it is. At least I found my friend Jamie. Maybe one day I'll get rich enough and I can go blogging in Colorado or do a live stream out there with my friend Jamie. That would be cool. She has a whole damn house next to all this wildlife. There was a wildfire, I guess, going on in Colorado or something. She was stuck in her house, and her kids and her husband, and they were going through some stuff in Colorado for a while with these wildfires. But she always looks at my posts when I do them outside, my Snapchats, and she asks how the weather is out here because she came from Ohio. So she keeps in touch. She keeps it real, and I like her. I always say she should be a digital creator because she does really good, funny posts and funny videos. And she's an animal lover and a good humanitarian. She really is. So maybe one day I will. I mean, but I would need a car. I would have to have a lot of things that I don't have right now. So maybe one day it could happen. My husband keeps saying on social media one time you could blow up on social media. I don't know. If I don't, I don't. I'm still going to be over here blabbing in my bedroom one way or another. So, yeah, I do. I have my good friend Jamie. We lost touch over the years. It happens. I'm old. There wasn't a lot of cell phones when we grew up. We grew up on landlines. So we kind of lost touch. She was on her second marriage, but I know where she's at now. She's in my Chong group. I have one over there, and she joined my group. And so, because I always do my communications, when you guys get communications over here, it's a lot of times that's from Snapchat and stuff, and it's really for everybody, but I put it on all the networks because on Facebook, I talk to my friends that I haven't talked to in like 30 years, and sometimes I mention my friends on there, and I always blog my brother Tim. He's my brother from another mother because he is the luckiest man alive. I share his blog over here because I started over here as a blogger. That I was gonna actually just have a blogging career. And the crazy and funny thing about it is when I got a live stream button one day, I was like, some people don't use it. And I said, why not try? Maybe I'll be a good live streamer, maybe not. So I figure, what's the difference? It's like a live blog almost. So it's been working so far. And I think of it as a blog. Oh, that's okay. But go ahead and put your question in. I think I got a hairball going on over here. Jumanji, you got a hairball? Are you okay? Yeah, and with all my dog stuff, I take care of. I rescue cats too. But go ahead and refresh your question because that's a lot of stuff to go through. And I'll answer that because I gotta go all the way up the list. I'm not used to being this popular. I really am not. I'm digital creators are just not usually that popular. I'm just amazed that you guys find me popular. All right, just some real advice what to do with this love for somebody I can't even have at present. Well, what I would do is I would honestly, if it was me, if you can't have this person, everybody always talks about this manifesting. I called envisioning. I would envision yourself just being happy. Don't have a with a don't envision, just envision having a relationship. And I would just honestly just start going out and just doing things that you were planning to do and never got around to doing. Like if you wanted to, I don't know, learn to knit or any little hobbies, start doing that and start just thinking about and manifesting a love relationship. And you'll probably get someone else that comes along that you love as much as that person. This happened after my second. No, this happened after my first father because my kids have two different fathers. He found somebody else and point blank told me, he wanted to see my oldest, Brandon, that I displayed the picture of with us incarceration, but he just said he really didn't want me, and I was hurt for like 2, 3 years. So I started going to school and thinking about just being. And one day, I found my husband, but it took a little bit. But sometimes you have to do that in life. You have to just start over and you have to manifest just having another love. But for me, school was a good distraction. Anything that distracts you with the pain. That's what I would do. I could try. I can see what it says. We could do that if you wanted. I mean, I'm willing to help and see what answers come about. All right. All right. For that situation, you got a full moon in Libra, and it just means that it balances out. It's not good nor bad. It's just a balance with that whole situation. And you got a south node and a new moon in Cancer. And with a south node, it's just that pretty much is not letting your past hold you back. And you got a new moon in Cancer, which just means that you're safe and the people around you that you care about are safe. So it's pretty much just tell me why you fell in love with them. It's just the past. It's really not saying. I mean, and maybe you just liked him. I'm just picking up you liked him a lot. It's some people have a certain energy that grabs at you and really makes you like that person, and you get engrossed with that person to where you just fall in love with them. And it happens. People are charming. I feel I'm just picking up he was very charming. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's very charming and angelic people out there. There's people that are jerks, like the one that's stalking me. It it happens. There was once I was enchanted by a guy in my 20s when my son was younger. He came from Texas and didn't tell me he was on his engagement party, and we had some drinks and when I was younger, and we ended up making out and stuff, and he was getting married next week. So I just was taken in by his charm. It happens. I mean, it happens to the best of us. You're not perfect. Only God's perfect, so. Uh, I was hurt because he would call me all the time, and then I found out he was married, but I had to move on. I had to start focusing on manifesting something new, and I went out with my friends and I just started trying to think about it less and less. It hurt. I didn't like being used, but it happened and it happens every day. And then being on the receiving end of that sucks because he seemed like the best guy in the world. He was a business guy, he was so nice and everything, and come to find out he was a jerk. And he wasn't even going to tell the girl he was marrying that he tried to sleep with me, so. I mean, this happens, but it hurt, but I had to move on. And it took me a while. I just kind of kept to myself and just seeing where life brought me. But you'll get through it in time. But his mistakes are just. Oh, it is hard. It really is. It's hard. And if that person had a full relationship with you, then goes and didn't care and had another full relationship, that's even. It's worse because you're invested. Once you're invested, that's it. And then when it's gone, it's poof and it hurts. I get it. So, I mean, my son was giving me problems. My other son, I went and got a dog because he was having a lot of issues and giving me problems. But sometimes life is horrible like that, and people tell me that's life. So, but yeah, it does hurt. I cried. I ate a lot of ice cream. I hung out with my friends, and I just try to move on and do things. But it's not going to be easy. And I've been told by many different people that life is not easy. So, and I get it because it's not. But I try to hang in there. So, I guess if you hang in there and I mean, if crystals help you, I would suggest I've always kind of been into crystals. The for actual to like help you a healing crystal, I think is the best one is the purple one. Get yourself a purple stone. Purple is for manifesting and for healing. And you can take it takes your pain and turns it around. So that's what I would do is get the purple crystal and some meditation stones. You can get them from Amazon and then just put them on your windowsill so it gets sunlight and the moonlight. And it'll help you too. But yeah, the purple stone. I have one. I just haven't wore it since this moonstone was given me by one of my witch friends. But I think I paid $40 for it. It was on sale. But go and get the purple stones. Get the crystals that actually you're drawn towards. You should feel them and get a feel for their energy. When I go get my crystals, I get a feel for them because you'll know what the right one is. Just don't pick up anything. Because if you go to the spiritual store, you do that. And you're allowed to feel them and pick it up. And if you get a necklace, if you have extra money, that's $50 or so. But it's a necklace that you feel real connected with that purple stone, then that's the one meant for you. And usually it brings spiritual healing and it brings physical healing. So if you're sick, it'll help you actually get better. A lot of people with cancer and stuff usually have one of those purple stones a lot. Or any kind of heartache, it does really good with. Because it's for psychic stuff too. And it really will help, and it'll help bring some positive stuff. Oh, you're welcome. I'm always I'm always trying to empower my crystals. I do it all the time. I feel safer when they're around. I feel they give me a barrier and stuff. And I give out crystals to my friends too. Oh, you're very welcome. I hope you come back in one of my streams. You're very conversational. I like you. You and your crimson aura. Oh yeah, this viewer saying get some abstain. He said it's going or kiwi. I'm picking up a male energy somewhere around there. He says that is it absorbs negative energy. So get one of those too, and the purple one. You could wear two. I've wore like 3 or 4 crystals when I was going through depression really bad. You could get them. I had one that was like here, and then I had one that was like I would hang them, and then you could put some in your pocket. You could do all that kind of stuff. But I would kind of stay away from black stones. Oh, you're welcome. But stay away from black crystals when you're in that kind of mood because black crystals sometimes can give out negative energy. And unless you're in a really good state of mind, you don't want a black crystal. You would have to be a good practitioner of the arts for that. So stay away from the black ones, but get the abstain one he was talking about. Just stay away from it. If you get a bad vibe on a crystal, don't buy it. And you can always put holy water on it too. I know it sounds crazy. It's probably because I'm the Catholic in me, but you can put holy water on these. You could go to a church and get holy water, your parish or whatever, wherever you go to worship God, and you can get holy water from your church, or just have a priest bless some water if you feel more comfortable, or if you don't want to bless it, and put it on your crystals. And it'll take away negativity for someone that might have touched it to taint it too. Oh, look at that! He's saying you're welcome. See, I love it. All the humanitarians are gathering up here and helping each other. This is how life is supposed to be. We all gotta help each other. This world's crazy. You can. Yeah, you're funny. You already knew you could cleanse your crystals. I always say that because sometimes people be touching on crystals. Well, I try to be fun. If you're always too serious and you're not upbeat, you just give out some negative vibes. You really do, and it's not good to give out negative vibes. Because that just means you're going to have some kind of negative readings, and I'm not out here to predict doom and gloom. So, oh, you're welcome. But yeah, I always try to get some kind of holy water or something, and I always bless my crystals. I've always done that because as Catholics, you have your house blessed. So why not bless them? I've heard of people blessing their bowling balls before they go bowling and their golf clubs. They do that. It's crazy, but there's been priests that's went and done this because I grew up in a Catholic background where people had a little money and golfing was important. So they would have the golf clubs blessed and then they'd have their bowling balls blessed. And I thought it was crazy. But you know what? If that's what they want to do and they want to make sure they have good energy while they're playing stuff, why not? And why not bless a crystal if you can bless a bowling ball? I grew up in a crazy bad world when I was younger around of my family. This is stuff they did. But yeah, all my stuff is blessed. And you should always have a house blessing. You get holy water and you can say any kind of prayer as you're doing it. You don't have to burn sage. That's the most, I want to say, it's the most popular, and because it's in the movies, they say it's cool and this and that, and they have all the witches going around burning sage and saying stuff. Just say a simple prayer and get holy water and put it around your house. And if you have a lot of like negative people going near your door, you put a cross up. And you could, and if people are taking your cross down, because I've heard of people doing this too, taking people's holy crosses off their door. You could put on the other side of the door and get holy water and bless your house, and it's supposed to remove, like, if somebody was real negative and could do something horrible to you, they won't be able to enter. It's supposed to be an old adage for like instead of salt, it's the same thing as putting salt and stuff. And so instead of doing all that, you're better off just getting anointing oil or the holy water and blessing the whole damn house and putting a cross on your door. I've done this too. Because I had this one person that wouldn't stop coming over when I was younger, so I blessed the whole house with holy water and I put a cross on the door. And then you write a little piece of paper, like they call it like a wish box or whatever. And some of the holy crosses, especially the Catholic ones, they have little chambers in the cross. And you take a piece of paper and you put what you wish for, whatever protection from whoever. And usually in the back of the crosses, if you pull them apart, you can put it in there and you put your wish in there, bless the cross, put holy water on the cross and holy water on your whole place, and and it blesses your wish. And if you're trying to get someone not to enter before they knock on the door, usually they forget and have to go to their car and they leave. And I've done this many times. I have a lot of crosses. I really do. And I don't mind putting them up. And especially if they have an inner chamber, and you could put people's names in there of people you don't want coming in your house because of that. And it works. It sounds insane and crazy, but damn, it works. because it keeps all those negative assholes away from you. So I suggest that, because sometimes if you burn sage all around your house, it smells like weed, and people are gonna think you're having hell of a party over there. And sometimes I think holy water works a little better than sage. And this is coming from a daughter of a witch. I just told my mother it's better to use holy water. Even though I argue with priests, and I do, I argue with them about Catholicism and a lot of different things. I respect them. And I respect their service. That's why I'm so interested in how that everything works with God and Jesus. And I was there at Catholic school for 12 years. I had a lot of questions in 12 years. So PPL. Ow. I don't think it's racist. It is a Catholic thing, though. If you got someone that's bothering your house trying to get in, intruder, maybe that's one of the names I would put on there. Like if you got an ex-husband or something that's coming by trying to hurt you, you put your name in the cross. But you go by whatever your beliefs are. I was raised Roman Catholic. I mean, my religion, I want to say, is one of the darkest. We have Roman Catholics have the darkest background of all the religions. Every single one of them. Romans were the ones that murdered Jesus. So it can't get no damn darker. And after they murdered Jesus on the cross and this and that, then they had a whole religion there. And it's not normal Catholic, it's that. So I mean, I just speak from that viewpoint because this is where it's who I am. I went to old time school, and my teachers were nuns. So I just tell you old Roman Catholic ways. So it's not racist, it's just something Catholics do. But that's why the Catholics, they will literally bless all their belongings. This is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm not trying to be racist. I don't do it to everybody. I just, if I do put a cross on my door, it's protection against something negative. And there's nothing wrong with protecting yourself against negativeness. Whatever makes you happy and comfortable doing is how you do it. But you got to protect yourself against these negative things. So, there. See? I mean, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I argue with priests because I believe in reincarnation. They don't. So, in Buddhism, they have a lot of that. And I do have old Catholic beliefs, like I'll hang crosses, but then I believe in reincarnation. And then if you argue with a Roman Catholic priest, you're going to be arguing for days just because they don't believe in reincarnation. But a Buddhist would believe it. And, I respect Buddha. I really like it. I got a Buddha statue. I like Buddha. I like him a lot. And I do believe there's reincarnation. And this is where me and the priest just did not, we butt heads. I believed if you lived one lifetime, and I believe we all have a soul and energy, why do we just die and go nowhere? You just go to heaven or hell and you never come back? I don't believe that. I believe that people have old souls. And in the Catholic Church, they don't. But then Catholics, in every horror movie, there's a Catholic priest. So, what are you going to do? It is one of the darkest religions because they literally killed the Savior and they fed people to lions just to make them Catholic. They murdered to get their religion out there. And that's true facts in history. You can look that up. And I even asked them about that. I was like, if we're supposed to be good people, then why did our people put Jesus on a cross? And they never had an answer for me. Not ever. This is the ramblings of a priest, and I said, if our soul is, we can have old souls and we're in service of God, which I agreed. I go, why do we just die and not come back? And I used to give the priests a headache, so because I ask a lot of questions. And I believe that our souls don't die. They just learn their lesson and we get reborn again. And we're here to spread good. And I guess that's where I'm infringing against my own beliefs with that. But I respect everybody and it sounds right. Why not? Why aren't? I mean, it makes sense that we are reincarnated. It makes sense that we're at one with nature. And it makes sense that God is everything. If it makes sense and it's real, to me it's real. If you see, I see energy, so why wouldn't I think it's real? So it is what it is. See, I wish I can remember my previous lives. I know I have had previous lives. I think that everyone has, but I think you're lucky if you can remember your lives. Because I don't remember any of my lives, and I've meditated, I've tried to do a lot of stuff, and I just don't remember them. But I would like to do that. They have this ayahuasca stuff that's administered by priests, and it's supposed to be in some foreign country. And they said if you have this, you can see your previous lives and everything. See, if I get to be rich enough and the universe wants me to have a little money, I could just go vlogging and take this ayahuasca. It's like you go, and I forgot what country it was. You have to, the Beatles were there. Famous people go there and do this ayahuasca. It's supposed to be not horrible for you, but it has to be administered by a spiritualist. And I might be able to remember a past life if I could do that, but I'm not rich enough to go and find these priests and go through this forest and everything. That's a lot. That's a lot for even me. So I would have to be, I don't know, just somewhat famous enough to be able to afford to get there. You was, what is that? You was a pig? Am I reading that right? I don't know. I'm probably reading that wrong. I don't think you were. It doesn't sound like it. All right. Private and wallet. Blank. Oh. Oh, pirate. You were a pirate. Okay. You were on a plank and was swimming and drowned. I'm sorry to hear that. I like pirates. I think pirates are cool. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, I think pirates were the pioneers of their days. Maybe that's why your energy made its way to over here. Pirates have a good, rich history. They weren't always, they're depicted as bad guys, but they were just the adventurers of the world. Maybe you just have a very adventurous soul. You never know. Oh, Vikings. I love Vikings. Now Vikings I could vibe with. Maybe this is why you're here. I love Vikings. Viking, I watch that on the History Channel, and they have some of the best history Vikings. I love the way they fight. I love the Viking braids. I love their principles. I even like the old Viking religion. Yeah, I love everything about it. I think if I mean, I hope in a past life I was a Viking, but I might not have been. I would. I mean, maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But Vikings are awesome. Men in kilts. Yeah, they are men in kilts. But yeah, I do. I love Vikings. My friend from work, she did her hair in Viking braids, and I told her that I'm always trying to look for a new hairstyle because I'm live streaming, and I feel you have to look nice if you're gonna be on camera. You can't be crazy like some of these people. So you can't look crazy. Some people on Facebook be looking crazy as hell. They got their hair looking like they just woke up and their face looking all crazy. Why would you come on camera and not even try to fix your hair or comb it? There's some crazy ass people live streaming these days, but yeah, I'm getting to that. Your rating. All right, your crush's feelings for you. But yeah, she has these Viking braids, and I told her I want to try do Viking braids because I think it would be good for a live streaming look. I did this today. I braided this and then like wrapped this around for today's look. But I'm always looking for new looks. I feel you should have a good presentation in front of public. So yeah, you know what? I actually had a dream I was burned at a stake before. I have had one of those dreams, but I don't know if it was a past life dream or not. I thought maybe I was just watching because I mean, being a natural born witch, I watch a lot of different stuff, and I just thought maybe I was watching a movie, but I did have frequent dreams about being burned on one of those stakes too. So I may have in a past life been burnt. I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I wasn't. I'm not for sure, but I may have. But I could. But yeah, I don't know. I get all mad when people talk about people and witches being burned, and I get angry about it. So maybe I was. I don't know. But about your crush's feelings, and this is Resme. All right, Resme about your crush's feelings. Your crush is in New Moon in Gemini, which is a communication card where he's at. And this just means you have to have more communication with him about your feelings. It's not negative, he doesn't know for sure. And then there's a new moon at Aries surrounding that situation and a new moon Aquarius. And whenever an Aries card it's a fire card. It's one of the stronger fire signs, that and Leo. That just means that you literally have got to tell him that you want a relationship and you like him to get an answer. It's a straightforward card because the Aries is like that. I'm an Aries myself. That's why I don't lie and I don't care about what people think about what I say. But I try to be respectful because I feel you should be respectful, but you should be able to say what you want to say. But anyways, Anne is surrounded by a new moon Aquarius, and that's just pretty much represents bringing love into a situation, and that means just telling him that you like him more than a friend. So, but I'm not really picking up on the feelings. I'm picking up more confusion because love has to build. And it has to be at times gifted. You got to remember that too. Because nothing's supposed to be handed to us in life in love or anything. So, but you do have to tell him. And I would do it in a nice, respectful way. But it does have to be shown to him because he's not going to tell it to you first because he doesn't know and he may move on. And then that might make you more sad. So you can't do that. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, well, that's pretty good. Yeah, Mr. Chong here is my rescue. He's the reason I'm less depressed. He's the reason I attribute him to me bringing me back from being depressed. That's why I want to help so many dogs. Because I feel that Charm. Oh, you're welcome. I feel if you tell that guy how you feel in a nice, respectful manner and just tell him the truth, I feel you're going to have a good result and he might actually admit to you that he likes you. I had a strong feeling about that while I was doing the reading, so I really wouldn't worry about it. I would just let him know, but I just get the feeling that he has so much going on in his life that he's not going to be able to tell you if he doesn't really know, he's not thinking. So he's not focusing on his love life right now. He's focusing on work. And men tend to do this. I've had a lot, long-term relationships and they all concentrate on their jobs and they're not concentrating on love and all this. They generally just try to get through life together. Men just are known as the gatherers that bring stuff to the situation. So he's engrossed in work. So you have got to let him know that you like him. So, but I feel that he may date you and stuff. And it could go from a crush to possibly dating if you said something. And if you want, wear a really cute dress or a skirt or something. That's what I would do. Wear something like a really cute outfit. Maybe try to put a Viking braid in or something cute. Those are nice. They do look good. It sounds medieval, but Viking braids look really awesome. People are having beards, but if that's your style, if it's not, just try to get a new style. Or just fix yourself and make yourself look sexy. Looking sexy makes you feel better, and then you have a better self esteem about yourself when you look a little sexier. I try to do that, like, because I was when I'm not when I my allergies are bothering me or whatever. I'll take a shower and try to fix my hair up and stuff to try to feel better for the day. So that's my advice for you. Okay, a man. Okay, I don't understand that question. Do you want a reunion with a man? Is that what you're asking? I mean, that's what I'm picking up. Okay. I have to be certain because some questions could be perceived 4 or 5 different ways, and I like to be precise as much as I can be. I feel it's better to be more detailed and precise. With a man and paranormal? Huh. So you want to know if you're going to be right now? Oh, a path. You want to know like paranormal and like a love thing, both? Oh, permanent. Okay. All right. I get you now. All right. All right. Okay, fierce. All right. I don't get out that much. I just literally go to the nursing home and back. Okay, let me see what this guy's saying. I just had deja vu. This happens. I keep talking about wormholes. People sit there and tell me that they're not sure about these wormholes, and I tell them they're here. I feel like if you're in the pathway of a wormhole, with all these black holes that are surrounding us, you could be having deja vu. I believe spiritualism and science are closely related, which also got me in a fight with a lot of priests. So, you could have been having deja vu. I think with all these different with the energy and all this and all the new research going on, they're actually admitting that there are wormholes and it's a real thing. It used to be sci-fi, but the scientific community is saying it actually is real now. And it's absolutely true. And they're saying these timelines with these wormholes come from the past and present. And then they are saying that people are walking out of these wormholes. And sometimes it's like a flicker when it comes and it goes back. Like in deja vu, like you see something and it's gone. They say it's because of wormholes. I'm just relaying the message that science has laid in front of me. All right, Chong, after this reading we'll go out, okay? I love you, okay? I love you. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. I promise. When we're reading, okay? I love you. You're a good boy. I know. You're a good boy, Chong. We're gonna go. Alright, I'm gonna do your quick reading because he's literally gonna stay over here doing this until he goes out and goes pee. Okay, I love you, Chong. Jeez, would you stop, Chongy? Anyways, let me do this reading real quick and I'm gonna take him out, charge my phone, and come back on. Since I'm having a very good day, I'm gonna put my cards this way. Since he has his big paws over here. Anyways, with your situation over here, with your love and all that, it was the love reading. You're in a mutual moon, which is good in your situation. This is a really, really good card. This means that nothing's set in stone, which is good. And for your love reading, you got also new moon in Taurus, and you got a balsamic moon, which is good. This is really good for love reading. You got a new moon in Leo just means prosperity because Tauruses are all about preparing for the future. And then the balsamic moon just means healing, which is good. It just means relax and heal and clear your mind. I feel there's gonna be stuff. I feel there's gonna be a reunion of sorts and a new love connection that you didn't think was possible that comes to being. I'm feeling an old love connection that rekindles that becomes new. That's what I'm picking up. So I hope that's helpful, but that's what I'm picking up. I think it's going to happen within a month or two, if not sooner. So I mean, that's the most helpful. But I am today. I don't work for 3 days. So I am gonna just charge this up and Chong's over here. I'll even show you when I'm coming off stream. There's my blue-eyed dog with his blue glare. Mr. Chong is gonna sit here and stand here like this till I take him outside, so I'll be back. I mean, it's probably gonna be probably a half hour for my phone to charge, so enough to be able to live stream again since I have an ancient phone. I know, I love you, Chong. We're going. I love you so much, okay? Alright, well, I'm gonna let you guys go for now because Mr. Chong, when he has to go, he has to go. And he will not go on the pee pads. So, I will see you guys in about a half hour or so, and today is going to be streaming day for me. And to the hubby gets here. And thank you for having the great conversation, and I appreciate everything. And I guess I haven't got your question, subscribe to me, and then when I come back on, just say I was waiting for a reading, and if you say you were waiting for a reading, I will put you on the top of the list. So, or if I was like, I got engrossed in work or whatever, and I didn't get to the next day, and you said I was on a stream and you didn't get me a couple days before, I'll put you on my top priority list. I promise. I'm trying to get better at this. I really am. And I appreciate all you guys for being a great humanitarians.